Hey everybody, and welcome to AvidMax Tying Tuesdays. My name is Brady, and today we're going to show you how to tie a jigged CDC soft hackle pheasant tail. To start off, we're going to use an awesome hook from Umpqua Feather Merchants. This is their competition C400BL. It's a great jig hook. Along with that, we'll put a jig bead on here. This is a tungsten copper. And then from there, we're going to use some cool whiting tailing material. This is the Coq de Leon Ginger Pardo color. The main body of the fly will be a little bit of natural pheasant tail in brown. We're going to put a thorax using some peacock herl, and then we're going to rib out the fly with some UTC copper wire and finish it off with some Col de Canard, some CDC in brown, the feathers, so that we can create a nice soft hackle. So we got our bead on our hook and our hook on our vise. We're just going to start our thread right up on the hook shank and then clip out our extra material. So first thing we're going to tie in is our tailing material. This is pretty awesome color from Whiting Farms. You can get a nice tailing pack from them for not too much. Tie a lot of flies, and it's a beautiful, beautiful color. So this is the Ginger Pardo. Matches well with our pheasant tails, and they have some other variations as well. So I'm going to take 20 or so fibers right off of the stem here, and I'm going to try and keep them all the tips lined up as best I can there, so I can shuffle them a little bit. There we go, it's a little bit better. And then we're going to measure out, just like you would on a regular pheasant tail, the size of our hook shank, and transfer that measurement to our other hand, and then tie it in right on top. If you go a little bit long, you can always pull it before you secure it down, however you like it there. So we'll secure it all the way to the hook bend there and clip out the extra material, and then we can come in with our wire. Anybody that's ever fished a soft hackle pheasant tail will tell you how effective it is. Very effective fly. Hashtag very effective fly. AvidMax. They're just great. They're very forgiving flies to fish because of the movement and the action that it gives out in the water. A few different ways you can do it as far as the soft hackle is concerned. You can use a CDC. You can use more traditionally a partridge feather. You can use a hen feather as well. And you get some cool looking flies any way you do that. So our next material here is the pheasant tail. I'm doing the brown, a little bit darker than the natural pheasant tails. And we don't need too many of these. I'm just going to use, you could do 3. I tend to use a little bit more. I use 4 or 5. So there's your pheasant tail, the brown pheasant tail color. And we're going to tie it in by the tips, just like so. And then bring it on up, and then we can go ahead and wrap our body with it. So we'll half hitch it off, keep everything from coming undone. Get our wire out of the way here in our material holder, and we can grab, these are a little small, so I'm going to use my hackle fibers, or my hackle pliers, to help me out a little bit. So we'll start to wrap it forward, touching wraps, covering up your hook shank all the way up to where your thorax will be. You can go a little bit further too, and then cover it up underneath. I always tend to do my pheasant tails pretty skinny. If you want to build up some bulk underneath and create a little bit of a taper, that works too. But especially when I'm doing soft hackles, I like a nice thin body. So we'll clip out that extra material, and then we can go ahead and rib out our fly. We'll do 5 wraps up to the front and capture that. And then we can do our thorax. Let's see, premature there. Let's make sure I got it. There we go. Okay, so to do that, we're going to use some peacock herl. I'm going to use a couple strands of peacock herl. Just line them up and try and get the longer barbels to face the same way when you do that, if you can, with your pheasant tail, if you can see that. So the longer ones are pointing downward, and that's how I'm going to tie them in as well. Right where our thorax is going to be, and then a half hitch again, and we can wrap those around. Very brittle material, but looks great once you got it added in. So we'll wrap that up to the front right behind the bead 4 or 5 times. And then capture it off and clip it out. So from here, one more material to add. This is the CDC, my favorite part of the fly. So you're using the feather instead of the puff, and that's going to give us a nice long piece of material to tie in and palmer around. So what I like to do with my feathers, I'm going to pull all these fibers rearward, just like you would if you were doing a partridge feather. It gives you a nice tie-in point here. And then we can secure that in with a few wraps, clip out that excess material once again. And then a half hitch. As you can see, I got a nice little base to do a couple of wraps with the CDC. And take it and work the feathers rearward. Nice long barbels on these CDC feathers. Creates a lot of movement in the water. Great fly as a dropper, great fly to swing. Very forgiving to fish in a few different, multitude of techniques. So we'll do a few wraps towards the front here, 2 or 3. So you got a nice soft hackle going on it. Just like so, pull the fibers back rearward again, and then we can come in and capture that off. And when I sneak over it, I like to kind of come just back a little bit with my wrap, and I think it helps avoid trapping some of those fibers. So a couple wraps, clip out that stem. You can see when I clip out underneath, I like to kind of move my thread out of the way using my fingers. Make sure you got a couple of wraps down before you do that, but it helps keep it out of the way. Avoid clipping your thread off when you're almost done here. Some of the longer fibers I might kind of clip out a little bit, but now we just give her a whip finish. Secure that in place, and we got a nice finished jigged pheasant tail with a CDC soft hackle. Very effective fly. It's Yvon Chenard is kind of known for fishing the soft hackle pheasant tail, the owner of Patagonia. He's very fond of this pattern, and for good reason. Give it a shot. It's a great pattern to tie. If you don't feel like tying it, you can come into AvidMax Fly Shop. We have these available in store as well, or the materials online to tie your own. If you enjoyed the video today, make sure to give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see us tie in the future, please drop us a comment in the lines below. For more fly fishing and outdoor related videos, be sure to subscribe to the AvidMax YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there.